Welcome back to the channel, BBC coin lovers and treasure hunters. Today, we are going to explore a fascinating piece of American history that many people have found sitting quietly in old collections, coin jars, and even everyday change. We are talking about the 1977 Liberty 1-cent coin, also known as the 1977 Lincoln Memorial Cent with no mint mark. At first glance, this small copper-colored coin may look ordinary. It has been passed from hand to hand for decades, and millions of people have handled one without realizing the history behind it. But in the world of coin collecting, even a simple-looking penny can become a collector's dream when it has the right features, condition, or unusual characteristics. The 1977 Lincoln Cent carries the famous image of President Abraham Lincoln on the front. Since 1909, Lincoln has appeared on the 1-cent coin, making it one of the longest-running designs in United States coin history. On the reverse side, the coin features the Lincoln Memorial, a symbol of American heritage and remembrance. The 1977 1-cent coin was produced during an important period in American history. The United States was celebrating its bicentennial era, and interest in collecting coins was growing rapidly. Many families began saving coins, believing that future generations might discover valuable treasures among them. Now let's talk about the famous no mint mark feature. Many beginners believe that a missing mint mark automatically means a coin is rare. However, on United States coins, a coin without a mint mark often means it was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. For the 1977 Lincoln Cent, the absence of a mint mark is normal and not automatically an error. Billions of these coins were produced, making the standard version widely available to collectors. But this does not mean you should ignore your 1977 penny. The real excitement begins when collectors carefully examine the details. A coin's value can change depending on its condition, original shine, color, strike quality, and whether it contains a rare mint error. One of the biggest factors in determining value is the condition of the coin. A worn coin that spent many years in circulation may only be worth its face value or slightly more. But a coin that was carefully stored and still shows bright original mint luster can attract much more attention from collectors. High-grade examples are the ones that create excitement in the collecting community. When examining a 1977 Liberty 1-cent coin, collectors usually look closely at several important areas. First, check the date. The numbers 1977 should be clear and sharply defined. Any unusual doubling, unusual shapes, or strange features around the date may deserve further investigation. Next, look at the word Liberty on the front of the coin. Collectors study this area because certain varieties and errors can sometimes increase interest. The portrait of Abraham Lincoln should also be inspected carefully. Look for unusual doubling, missing details, or strange marks that do not appear to be normal wear. The reverse side should not be ignored either. The Lincoln Memorial design contains many small details. Collectors examine the building lines, lettering, and overall strike quality when evaluating a coin. Now many people ask, could a 1977 no mint mark penny really be worth a huge amount of money? The answer depends on the individual coin. A normal 1977 Lincoln Cent is not considered a $1 million coin. However, rare coins with extraordinary mistakes, unique characteristics, or extremely high grades can sometimes become valuable collector pieces. The excitement of coin collecting comes from searching carefully because you never know what unusual discovery might appear. The most important lesson for collectors is this: never judge a coin only by its age. Some old coins are common, while some newer coins can become valuable because of rarity and demand. A 1977 penny may have traveled through countless hands. It may have been used to buy a small item, saved in a family collection, or forgotten inside an old drawer. Every mark and every scratch tells part of its journey through American history. For beginners entering the hobby of coin collecting, the 1977 Lincoln Cent is an excellent coin to study. It teaches important lessons about mint marks, grading, preservation, and the difference between a common coin and a truly rare collectible. Today, we are going to explore a fascinating piece of American coin history that has captured the attention of many collectors around the world. In this video, we are taking a closer look at the Liberty 1 cent 1984 with no mint mark, a coin that has become a popular topic among penny enthusiasts and collectors searching for valuable finds hidden in everyday change. The Lincoln Memorial Cent series is one of the most recognized and collected coin series in United States history. Millions of these pennies were produced, but certain details, conditions, and unusual features can make some examples much more interesting to collectors. The 1984 Liberty 1 cent is part of this historic series and carries the famous image of President Abraham Lincoln, a symbol that has represented American history, strength, and freedom for generations. Before we talk about value, let's understand the story behind this coin. The 1984 Lincoln 1 cent was produced during an important period in American coinage. It features the classic design created by Victor David Brenner on the front, showing the portrait of Abraham Lincoln. The back of the coin displays the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo, which remained a major feature of the penny design for decades. The phrase Liberty appears on the obverse of the coin, reminding collectors of the traditional American values represented on United States currency. The year 1984 is located in front of Lincoln's portrait, while the mint mark, if present, would appear below the date. A 1984 coin without a mint mark generally indicates that it was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, which traditionally did not place a mint mark on many coins during this period. Many collectors become excited when they discover a 1984 penny with no mint mark because they believe every unusual-looking coin may hold a hidden fortune. However, experienced collectors know that value depends on several important factors, including rarity, condition, errors, demand, and certification. The condition of a 1984 Liberty 1 cent coin plays one of the biggest roles in determining its collectible value. A coin that has been heavily circulated with scratches, discoloration, and wear may only be worth a small amount above face value. On the other hand, a coin preserved in excellent condition with sharp details, original shine, and strong eye appeal can attract more attention from collectors. Collectors carefully examine Lincoln's hair details, the lettering, the date, and the Lincoln Memorial design. A high-quality example with strong features and minimal damage is always more desirable. Coins graded by professional services can sometimes bring higher prices because collectors trust certified grades when buying rare or premium examples. The 1984 Lincoln cent also became known among collectors because of certain varieties and errors. Some coins from this era have interesting mistakes created during the minting process. These errors may include double design elements, unusual markings, or other production issues. Error coins can sometimes become much more valuable because collectors enjoy owning examples that are different from normal coins. When searching through old collections, coin jars, inherited collections, or rolls of pennies, collectors often look carefully for these special characteristics. A simple 1 cent coin sitting unnoticed for decades could become an exciting discovery if it contains a rare error or an exceptional grade. Now let's discuss the market value. Some online discussions and coin videos mention extremely high values, sometimes claiming that certain 1984 Liberty 1 cent coins with no mint mark can reach prices starting from $1,200 or even much higher. It is important for collectors to understand that these extraordinary values usually depend on very rare conditions, certified examples, or unusual errors. A normal circulated 1984 Philadelphia penny is generally much more common, while truly special examples are the ones that attract serious collector interest. The world of coin collecting is filled with stories of unexpected discoveries. Many valuable coins were found by people who simply looked more closely at their everyday change. This is why collectors always recommend learning how to identify important details instead of immediately spending or ignoring old coins. If you have a 1984 Liberty 1 cent with no mint mark, start by examining it carefully under good lighting. Look for signs of unusual features. Check whether the letters appear doubled, whether the date looks different from normal examples, and whether the coin has a beautiful original appearance. Avoid cleaning the coin because cleaning can reduce collector value by damaging the natural surface. The best way to protect a potentially valuable coin is to store it properly. Use coin holders, protective flips, or professional storage materials designed for collectibles. Keeping the coin safe from moisture, scratches, and environmental damage can help preserve its condition for the future. Coin collecting is not only about money. It is also about history, curiosity, and discovering stories hidden in small pieces of metal. Every Lincoln cent represents a connection to the past. Millions of people have handled these coins throughout the years, making each piece a small part of American history. The 1984 Liberty 1 cent with no mint mark may look ordinary at first glance, but it represents an important chapter in United States coin production. For collectors, the excitement comes from searching, learning, and discovering what makes each coin unique. Many beginners start their collection with Lincoln pennies because they are affordable, easy to find, and full of interesting varieties. The 1984 penny is a great example of how a common coin can become a learning opportunity. By studying dates, mint marks, errors, and grading standards, new collectors can develop valuable skills. Today we are going to explore a fascinating piece of American history that many people may have sitting in their old coin jars, drawers, or collections. The coin we are talking about today is the 1999 Liberty 1 cent coin, also known as the 1999 Lincoln Memorial cent with no mint mark. At first glance, this coin may look like an ordinary 1 cent piece that you could easily overlook. But in the world of coin collecting, sometimes the smallest details can create the biggest excitement. A tiny difference in a coin's design, a rare variety, an unusual strike, or a special error can completely change the interest and value of a coin. The 1999 Lincoln cent with no mint mark was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. Coins made at Philadelphia traditionally do not carry a mint mark, which means the space below the date where collectors normally look for a letter remains empty. Many beginners believe that a missing mint mark automatically means a coin is rare, but experienced collectors know that the real story is found in the details. This beautiful coin features one of America's most respected presidents, Abraham Lincoln, on the front side. His portrait has appeared on the United States cent since 1909, making the Lincoln cent one of the most recognized coins in American history. Above Lincoln's portrait are the famous words, "In God We Trust," while the word, "Liberty," and the date 1999 complete the design. Turning the coin over, collectors find the famous Lincoln Memorial design created by Frank Gasparo. The reverse shows the Lincoln Memorial building along with the words United States of America, 1 cent, and the traditional motto E Pluribus Unum. The 1999 no mint mark cent was produced in very large numbers, with billions of examples entering circulation. Because of this, many regular examples are still common today. However, coin collectors understand that rarity is not always about the year alone. Sometimes the true value comes from hidden characteristics that most people never notice. One of the most exciting discoveries connected to the 1999 Lincoln cent is the famous wide AM variety. On the reverse side of the coin, collectors carefully examine the letters A and M in the word America. On normal examples, these letters are very close together, known as the close AM variety. But on the rare wide AM variety, there is a noticeable separation between the A and M letters. This small design difference has made certain 1999 Lincoln cents highly desirable among collectors. Some examples with the wide AM variety and excellent condition have sold for hundreds, or even thousands of dollars depending on their grade and rarity. Now let's talk about the amazing claim that attracts many treasure hunters, the idea that a 1999 Liberty 1 cent coin with no mint mark can have a current market value starting from $1,200 million. While extremely high values are often discussed online, collectors should understand that a coin's real market value depends on authentication, rarity, condition, and demand. A regular circulated 1999 no mint mark cent is usually worth around its face value, but rare errors, exceptional grades, or unique varieties can create much higher collector interest. The excitement of coin collecting comes from the possibility that something ordinary could have an extraordinary story. A coin that has passed through thousands of hands may contain a special feature created during the minting process. That is why collectors carefully inspect every detail. If you discover a 1999 no-mint mark Lincoln cent, here are some important things to check. First, look at the condition of the coin. A coin with sharp details, original shine, and minimal marks will usually attract more attention than a heavily worn example. Second, examine the reverse side carefully. Look closely at the spacing between the A and M in America. This is one of the most important areas to inspect when searching for valuable 1999 cents. Third, check for unusual errors. Collectors look for doubled letters, unusual strikes, missing details, off-center strikes, and other minting mistakes that may increase collector demand. Fourth, avoid cleaning the coin. Many beginners try to make old coins look shiny, but cleaning can damage the original surface and reduce collector value. Professional collectors usually prefer coins with natural surfaces. The 1999 Liberty 1 cent coin represents more than just 1 cent. It represents American history, craftsmanship, and the excitement of discovery. Every coin has a journey. It may have been used in a store, saved in a collection, carried in a wallet, or forgotten in an old container for many years. For new collectors, coins like the 1999 Lincoln cent are a perfect introduction to the hobby. They teach important lessons about mint marks, coin varieties, grading, and the importance of careful observation. Many valuable coins were not discovered by professional dealers first. They were discovered by everyday people who simply took the time to look closer. That is why checking your pocket change and old collections can be an exciting adventure. Today we are exploring a modern American coin that many people have ignored for years, but could still hold an incredible story. The coin we are looking at is the Liberty 1 cent 2060 United States coin, a small piece of American history that has captured the attention of collectors and treasure hunters around the world. Imagine finding a simple penny sitting in an old jar, a forgotten collection, or even your everyday pocket change, only to discover that this tiny piece of metal has a fascinating history. Some collectors believe that unusual examples, rare minting mistakes, and extraordinary conditions can transform ordinary coins into valuable collectibles. The 2060 Lincoln cent is part of the famous Lincoln Memorial Cent series. This series has been collected by millions of people because of its connection to one of America's most respected presidents, Abraham Lincoln. The front of the coin features the classic portrait of Lincoln, created from the original design by Victor David Brenner, while the reverse displays the Lincoln Memorial design created by Frank Gasparo. The word Liberty appears proudly beside Lincoln's portrait, representing one of the most important ideals in American history. Above Lincoln's head is the famous phrase "In God We Trust," and below the portrait is the date 2006. On regular Denver examples, a small D mint mark appears below the date, showing that the coin was produced at the Denver Mint. But what makes collectors excited is not always the year alone. The real excitement in coin collecting comes from discovering something unusual. A coin with a rare error, a special strike, unusual condition, or a mistake during production can become highly desirable among collectors. Many people hear stories about pennies selling for huge amounts of money and immediately start checking their old coins. While most 2006 Lincoln cents are common coins, the possibility of discovering a rare variety is what makes coin hunting exciting. The dream of finding a valuable coin keeps millions of collectors searching through old change, coin rolls, and inherited collections. The 2060 Lincoln cent was produced in very large numbers, with billions of examples created at the Denver Mint. Because of this large production, ordinary examples are usually easy to find. However, collectors pay special attention to coins that survive in exceptional condition or show unusual characteristics. Now let's talk about the phrase many collectors search for: no mint mark. A missing mint mark can sometimes create excitement because certain historical coins without mint marks are extremely valuable. For example, some famous American coins became valuable because of unusual production situations. But every year and every coin must be carefully examined because not every missing mark is a rare error. For a 2006 Lincoln cent, collectors must carefully check whether the mint mark is actually missing or whether the coin is damaged, worn, altered, or simply misunderstood. Professional authentication is important before believing any extraordinary value claim. The biggest question everyone wants to know is, could a 2006 Liberty 1-cent coin really be worth $1.2 million? The answer depends on what makes the coin special. A normal 2060 Lincoln penny is not $1 million coin. Most examples are worth around their face value or modest collector premiums depending on condition. However, in the world of rare coins, extremely unusual errors or historically important discoveries can create surprising auction results. Exceptional certified examples of modern Lincoln cents have reached impressive prices when they have extraordinary qualities. The value of a coin is determined by several important factors. The first factor is condition. Coin collectors use grading systems to measure preservation. A coin that looks almost untouched, with bright original color, sharp details, and no damage, can be much more desirable than a heavily circulated example. The second factor is rarity. A coin that millions of people own will usually have less value than a coin with only a few known examples. The third factor is errors. Minting errors are one of the most exciting parts of coin collecting. Errors can happen during the manufacturing process, creating unusual features that collectors search for. Examples include unusual strikes, doubled designs, missing details, or other production mistakes. The fourth factor is demand. Even a rare coin needs collectors who want to own it. Popular series like Lincoln cents often attract strong interest because generations of collectors grew up searching for them. If you have a 2006 Liberty 1-cent coin, there are several things you should examine carefully. First, look at the date. Make sure it clearly shows 2006. Second, inspect the mint mark area. On a Denver coin, the D mint mark should appear below the date. If it appears missing, use magnification and proper lighting to confirm whether it is truly absent. Third, examine the entire surface of the coin. Look for unusual features, sharp details, strange markings, or anything that appears different from a normal example. Fourth, protect the coin. Never clean a collectible coin because cleaning can reduce its value. Store it safely in a proper holder, and avoid touching the surface with your fingers. Coin collecting is not just about money. It is about history, discovery, and the excitement of holding something connected to the past. Every coin tells a story. Even a modern penny can remind us about American design, technology, and the process of creating billions of pieces of currency.